What's up everyone, Gits here for another TFT video, and in this video I'm going to share to you my climbing strategy. So this is how I got to master today. So it's going to be a very straightforward comp. So there's actually two comps here and it's very flexible, especially the mid game. It's so stable and the only thing you really need to do is to play tempo. Okay, so yeah, let's go. First things first, let me show you my lol chest. So this is me. So this is 12.14. So this was when the patch hit. So of course, learning stage, you go down first, and then until you figured it out, you just shoot straight up. Okay, so yeah, you can see here already champions that I've been using. It's all the same thing: Garen, Blitzcrank, Silco, Elise, Mordekaiser. So I've been playing around Dominator so many times in this patch because it's actually pretty strong. And this is basically the final board over here. Silco is just going to be Shojin Nashor +1, so it doesn't have to be a double Shojin. Double Shojin is really good because of Dominator, basically. And then of course Mordekaiser will be having a Quicksilver. Quicksilver right now is a very good slam in the early game. I'll show you a board later on that has the best slams to be able to tempo. So whenever you see those items, just slam it. Okay, and then of course Garen is going to hold your belt items, can also hold your spark. If you don't have a spark on Garen, of course you want static shiv somewhere like a LeBlanc right here. So this is the final board with the classic Black Rose, but of course you can always drop to 3 if you find the 6 costs. So like if you find a Victor, you just drop one of the Black Rose units and you can actually go down to 3. Like 3 and 4, there's not much difference. So I definitely recommend going down to 3 if you're dropping 5. So in cases like this, sometimes I actually just go for, where is it? Since I don't actually tank with Mundo, there are some cases where I would go with just Malzahar right here, right? And then we can drop Mundo, something like that. So different scenarios, of course, different circumstances, but yeah, cap out is basically just getting Victor in here if you can get to level 10 even. So yeah, just bring back Sion, not Sion, Mundo, and then the Visionary units, right? So this is like your cap out level 10. So yeah, pretty simple. And the other comp that is almost similar to this one, well, similar build up, is going to be Automata. So Automata is very strong, especially mid-game Kog'Maw 2. This is Kog'Maw 2, by the way. You don't have to roll for Kog'Maw 3. Like, the Kog'Maw 3, Blitzcrank 3 is okay, but man, the cap, this one has higher cap, basically. So again, at level 9, if you find a Victor, drop Zeri. You don't need Sniper here because, I mean, Kog'Maw is not your main carry. It's going to be really Malzahar here. And you have Automata emblem, and actually best holder for Automata emblem is one of the best holders is going to be Mel. So if you find Mel, consider transferring Automata Crest over to her. So this is actually very strong as well, and again, you can go to 10 and add in Victor. Like these 6 costs, man, it's so strong. But anyways, build up, let's talk about that one. But this is like the final board. And yeah, you basically only really go for this comp when you have an Automata Crest. So yeah, like there's a lot of chances for it to appear in Carousel for a spat or maybe augments, right? So 3-2 augments or 4-2 augments, there's a chance that you get an Automata Crest. So if you get an Automata +1, this is when you go into this board. Like I think 4 Automata is playable. For sure, it's playable, but it's good for top 4ing. But winning the game, I think 6 Automata is what will win you games and not really 4. Okay, so I really only go for this board if I get a +1 Automata or a very early Malzahar when I'm already playing Kog'Maw. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it for the Automata board. Okay, so I have many different build-ups here. The main ones are basically going to be either a Kog'Maw carry for the mid-game or is going to be Ziggs carry for the mid-game. Okay, so this is one of the early game boards that you can do with a Kog'Maw drop. So if you got a Kog'Maw drop from the Krugs, or no, not the Krugs, first creep round, then yeah, definitely try playing around Kog'Maw. Items on Kog'Maw is definitely not going to be that much different to the items that you put on Silco. So these items right here are really good slams already. So of course, if you have a Rage Blade slam, just slam Rage Blade. Rage Blade is also not bad on Silco. Like he actually uses it well as well. Okay, So it's just for Watcher and Kog'Maw. So this is like your early game board. So it's a very good way to actually tempo and go level 8 at for 2. Okay? Next one is just going for 4 Automata. Again, 4 Automata is so much stats on Automata. That's why this one's really good. Again, so yeah, just play around Kog'Maw Blitzcrank if you get that early game. Then just play for 4 Watchers, or not 4 Watchers, 4 Automata. And of course, just play Kog'Maw. Okay? So again, very strong opener right here. If you have any upgraded units, you can just put them in, right? Just put them in, especially if you have like random units, really, like legit. Random 2-star units are going to stall for this board. You just want a lot of frontline, right? If you can't get the Automatas, you can go again for Watcher, or you can also go with the Sentinels, right? These guys right here, Sentinels, are also really good. At level 6, it can also be for Sentinels. Like this one is also actually very good at stalling and letting your Kog'Maw actually pull through. Okay, so next up is going to be Ziggs. So this is Ziggs with 4 scrap if you get a Gangplank. So Gangplank, of course, 3 cost unit. It's pretty hard to hit him, but that's fine if you don't get Gangplank. Then if you have Trundle to stab 2, these guys are actually pretty good on their own already. And you can fill it up with like Sentinels as your front line, like one costs. This is the power of 1 costs, man. If you get this to 2 stars, this is actually stable in stage 3 already. And of course, better versions of this one is going to be 2 cost Sentinels, right? You have 2 cost Sentinels, that's going to be better. And of course, utilize the scrap bonus with just putting a rod, a tier, or a bow on Ziggs. So yeah, this one's really good as well. Another opener right here is just going to be simply Black Rose here with Ziggs as your main carry. You don't really want to itemize Casio. Casio is so weak. Ziggs 2 is so much stronger than a Casio 2. So yeah, this is a standard opener again for a Black Rose. Okay? And then again, like if you can't find any of these units that I'm showing here, like you just need the main carry. It can actually also be Lux as a carry, but mid-game she falls off, or maybe around stage 3 she falls off hard, but she can carry you through stage 2 if you have a Lux 2 with a decent frontline, right? Like maybe Watchers or Sentinels, like whatever, right? This should be able to carry you into stage 2 and get into stage 3, probably level 6, and transition into Ziggs or a Kog'Maw 1. Like Kog'Maw 1 with these items, it's actually very strong already, and I think it's stronger than Lux. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then here are the items that you want to build, like auto slam items. Frontline items are basically Sunfire, super good slam. Really good slam. Warmogs, of course. I mean, if you can slam Declaw and Bramble as well, those are pretty okay. So I probably just put it here for the visuals as well. Okay, where are those things? Like, there's no other choices when you get dropped these items anyway, right? Okay, so these are your auto slam tank items, and here are your auto slam backline items. So again, Nashor's Tooth, Shojin, or this is not Shojin, Shiv, Rageblade, Ziggs, not Ziggs, that's a red buff, Shojin, QSS, and Guardbreaker. So QSS and Guardbreaker are actually really good items, because just looking at the stats, they give so much stuff, man. They give so much stuff. Like even Quicksilver. So yeah, Quicksilver is very strong as well. Like you don't get any benefit for putting it on the back line. You might think that, but not really, because the attack speed that this thing gives, it's actually a lot. It gives out a lot, and it scales really well as well if fights are going longer. So yeah, these are the items that you are slamming like as soon as you get into stage 2-1 if you're going for a win streak. Okay, so yeah, as much as possible you want to be win streaking with this comp. If you're going for a loss streak, it's fine as well. Like just take the 5 loss on stage 2, sack hole stage 2, and then stage 3-2, level to 6, and then you roll. Right? You roll to 30 gold, try to get a decent frontline, get a Kog'Maw or a Ziggs 2, and you should be stable for stage 3. Okay? Okay, let's use this as an example to build the board up to 4-2, and we're angling towards Silco, for example, because these items looking kind of Silco-like, right? Are going dominator like. So for example, this is your opener, and what you want to do with this one is to actually hold the black rose units already. So you want these guys right here to be able to put in your board. So for example, once you found the black rose units already, you can start dropping these units right here. So for example, this is your level 7 board, right? So level 7, you just get a Scion in there. Let's say, for example, it's level 6, right? Let's say, for example, level 6. Like, this is already a pretty okay level 6 board. And again, level 7, you just put in another Sentinel if you want to, or whatever it is that you can really just put into your board. Okay? And then usually what you want, again, this is tempoing correctly. So by stage 3-2, you want to be level 6. If you have at least 30 gold left when you level at 3-5 to level 7, you should level to level 7 at 3-5 if you will have 30 gold left over. If you don't, then don't level at 3-5. Don't level to level 7 at 3-5. But if you're trying to preserve a win streak for stage 3, then I recommend leveling on stage 3-5. If not, if you're mixed streaking on stage 3, go level 7 on the neutral stage. Okay? After neutrals, you're just sitting there. You're not gonna do anything unless you're rich enough to go level 8 at 4-1 and roll down, or level to 8 at 4-2 and just finish up the whole comp. So again, you just want to find your dominator. So this guy, Black Rose as well, and Silco. So what's going to happen here is you drop this, right? So this is what your board is going to look like. So it's just 4 Black Rose, 4 Dominator, actually. So if you don't want this Leona here, you can actually put in, what's his name? Swain. Swain for some form swapper, but if you found Garen, it's definitely just Garen, right? It's definitely just Garen. If you can't find Mundo, then that's the time you put in this guy for the 4 Dominator. You transfer items over from Ziggs to Silco if you get 2-star Ziggs. Okay? That's the time, not 2-star Ziggs, 2-star Silco. And you can actually drop Ziggs now and put in Mundo right here. Okay? So that's definitely just the game plan for this one. It's very simple, really. Like, just put in a few games into it and you should be able to figure it out. All right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for the comp, right? Like, this is very, very simple, and it's what helped me to climb to master. I might stop my climb here already because Macau has already ended as well. So I'm not finding any drive to play the game as soon as I reach master, but we'll see. Maybe things get interesting in future patches and it would make me want to play different comps, but let's see. So anyways, let me know if there's any comps that you want me to cover in the comments below, because I'm already master. I can just throw away LP anytime I want, right? And I can't be demoted from master. So that's what I like with getting to master, actually, because you can just for fun everything. But anyways, that's pretty much it for me. Subscribe if this was helpful, like the video, of course, comment down below whatever it is that you're thinking. I try to read all the comments as much as I can and respond to them, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye bye.